Rome Odunze dealing with some hamstring tightness. How should the Bears handle it? And Kevin Byard being dubbed the worst signing of the offseason? We'll talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page. We do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button and subscribe. A lot of you guys are watching, but you're not pushing the subscribe button. I see the numbers again. Those numbers creep back up, which means there's a bunch of new people watching again. Welcome. Appreciate you. Welcome to the family. But hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you guys are tuned in, locked in, and hit the bell so you get notified every time we drop a video or go live. So Rome Odunze dealing with some hamstring tightness. This was tweeted out by Dan Wiederer after day 2 of rookie minicamp. And this is interesting because, right, there's nothing realistically to be concerned about. Look where we are. It's May. I'm not worried about Rome Odunze hamstring tightness in May. If we're talking about a full hamstring pull, a hamstring injury, that's very different. We're talking about tightness, right? He's getting himself back out there. Of course, right? Got to get ready, got to get NFL ready, getting the body ready. Maybe it was, it ended up getting a little tight. It's not a pull. At least that's not what's being reported right now. And so I'm not losing my mind on this. But how should the Chicago Bears kind of go about handling this is a real question, because I think you have so many options. Yet again, I've talked about options a lot on this channel. I'm slow playing everything with Rome Odunze because I think him and Caleb together are going to be a dynamic duo for years to come. And I have the ability kind of to afford to slow play this thing this year. I'm taking my time. You don't want this to turn into a pull. You don't want this to turn into an issue. This is not an issue that Rome Odunze has had much in his career either, right? He's not a guy who's oft been injured or oft dealt with hamstring injuries, right? So like, I'm not losing my mind over this. I think that but to me, right, you have Keenan Allen, you have DJ Moore. Now for rookie minicamp, done. I don't want to see him back on the field. That's fine. But heading into training camp and stuff like that, if you still feel like there's some tightness or things like that happening, right, it's okay to slow play this. It's okay to allow him to kind of get himself in there, because you don't want this to turn into a pull. Remember, a pull last year is what sidelined Justin Jefferson for a considerable amount of time, not slow playing it, him trying to kind of work through some things. But then, all of a sudden, after he sits out, takes the time he needs, he comes back, he's absolutely dominant on the field, and he's a monster, and Kirk Cousins isn't even there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just be very cautious with hamstrings. This is something that, it can be nothing now here in May, which I think it is nothing now here in May. I'm not losing my mind at all, not losing any sleep over this. But the fact that you're talking about a hamstring, I'm always very, very cautious, because we know what those things could turn into. If I'm not mistaken, right, that was Chase Claypool's issue when he got here second year. I think he pulled a hamstring in training camp, right, or pulled a hamstring early on in the offseason, something like that, and it sidelined him for a while. You know what I mean? So I want to avoid that as much as possible. Let's just slow play this. Let this kid recover. He's young. He's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. It's May. Hamstring tightness. The world shall not end. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below as well. Do you think the Bears should kind of slow play this thing? The fact that you got Keenan Allen and DJ Moore on this team, to me, affords you so much time to kind of relax. And I mean, listen, you love, here's the one thing that I do love coming out of day 2 of minicamp, right? We get to hear from Shane Waldron. He talks about, the person, Rome Odunze. He talks about him as a player, of course, and getting to watch him during his time in Washington. Of course, Shane Waldron was out in Seattle, and, he just talked about him and was like, listen, this is a kid that, of course, we knew, and hold on, let me get the quote up here. He says, of course, we knew he was big and fast and smooth receiver with the ability to make tough catches. But the cool thing, I thought, is when you start to learn about the person and how dependable and reliable he was, that really sealed the deal as far as the evaluation process. And then I thought it was pretty cool post-draft, just the amount of text I received about the person more than anything else. So when you're building a culture and building it the right way, it was an A+ fit for us. Rome Odunze, to me, fits in perfectly with everything we want the Chicago Bears to be, right? Like, to me, he is a perfect culture fit, like Shane Waldron said. But when you see him mixed with Caleb, the personality fit, the ability to go out there and of course make the plays on the field, but also off the field, how are you getting along with your guys? What is the mindset? If Caleb pushes you, can you push him even further? Can you guys kind of vibe off of each other and be a catalyst for years to come in this NFL? That's the kind of player that I think that we got with Rome Odunze. And when you hear Shane Waldron talk about an A+ fit, not just on the field, but personality wise, that's the thing that makes me feel really good about this Bears team, right? Of course, listen, at some point, right, if you're good, money comes into play. We see what's going on with the Chiefs, right, where there's different players who are like, listen, I should have got this. I should have made this. I should be getting this. Chris Jones ends up holding out. You have to go through that. That's just the team dynamics. That is the business of football. But when you have good personalities already in the building, working out the financial side of thing, if the play lives up to that, and of course age and all of that plays into it, right, those things usually find a way to work themselves out when the personalities are right and when the personalities fit. That's what it feels like here. When I look at DJ Moore, when I look at Cole Kmet, when I look at Caleb, when I look at Rome, those are guys to me that seem like they're going to vibe really well together, fit really well together. And that's what excites, I think, most people about this Bears offense. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a pop-up offense. This feels like there's going to be some time in this. This feels like there's going to be some longevity to this. At least that is the hope. And so, you know, when you hear, right, this guy was a perfect fit for us personality wise, I know Rome can play. I know he can go out there and catch the football. I know he's a great route runner, a good contested catch guy, big body, great speed. I know all of the, and this was kind of the thing for me with Caleb Williams as well. I can see all of the physical tools that Caleb Williams had on the field. The personality was the part that I questioned most coming in. And when you see the personality of Caleb Williams now, and you see how listen, I love the fact that he's just being a 22-year-old kid that's like, I get to live my dream and play football, right? I love that. And so when you see that, when you see things like that play out, to me, right, you add the skill set in with the personality, that is when you get an elite level team. And that's what I love about what the Bears are building here. Let's hope that we can keep this thing going. Now, if you have not done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. You guys know what to do. Very interesting that we got a little bit of disrespect from CBS. I guess not surprising, right? Not surprising. When you see some of these CBS articles, you kind of just go, there it is. Okay, that makes sense. But Kevin Byard being dubbed the worst signing of the offseason by Jordan Dajani, I hope I'm saying your name right, my guy. Jordan Dajani of CBS wrote in an article that the Chicago Bears made the worst signing of the offseason. He was an all-pro safety not long ago, but Kevin Byard struggled after being traded to Philadelphia last year when he became a free agent this offseason. The Bears quickly pounced on him, signing the former Titan to a 2-year deal worth something like $15 million. And this is interesting to me. When I saw this kind of jumped off the page at me. And let me know your thoughts on it. Do you feel like Kevin Byard was a good signing, was a bad signing? Do you feel like he was the worst signing of the offseason? This jumped off the page at me, though, because to me, it seems like you're not taking into account, one, what Kevin Byard's role should be with the Chicago Bulls, and two, or Chicago Bulls, good grief, Chicago Bears, and two, what the expectation is of him coming in here, right? Like, I don't think that you're taking into account what the Bears are looking for. One, you're looking for an upgrade from Eddie Jackson. So you're looking for a sure tackler, somebody who's going to be able to, if they do get, down the field, you're going to be able to bring people down. You're also looking for a guy that can be a ball hawk. He doesn't have to be a ball hawk because I've still got Jaquan Brisker back there. I've got a defense and a defense full of DBs and linebackers who in 7 games Titans last season vaulted themselves to the most interceptions in the NFL. Of course, the most interceptions in that time span. But just, you know, like when you look at last season, how this season ended, I'm not asking Kevin Byard to come in here and be the all-pro player that he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm asking Kevin Byard to find out where he fits in. And guess what? The ceiling could still be that. The other thing for me is you're not taking into account what the Eagles went through last season. When you're talking about the struggles that he dealt with the Eagles, I mean, my God, are we sitting here paying attention to the struggles of the Eagles last year? Are we looking at how they fired basically that entire defensive coaching staff? Are we looking at how many changes they dealt with during the season? And I get it, right? Like they went through kind of that Super Bowl lull. You know what I mean? Like you made the Super Bowl, didn't work out. Now you got to kind of try and find your way back there. You were dealing with a team that had some players that were aging as well. I'm not losing my mind over Kevin Byard's Eagles time or his time, even kind of that end with the Titans, because to me, the end with the Titans, here's the thing. We watched a team legitimately who basically turned into a different team when we were able to get pressure on the quarterback, right? We all saw that last year with the Bears. He played for the Titans. The Titans were not great at getting pressure on the quarterback. That kind of goes into some of the numbers being down as well. And I think here's, again, you have to look at what the Bears are going to be asking him to do, what the expectation is from Kevin Byard coming in here. And I look at his 2022 and 2023 numbers, and I'll tell you what, one, not that different outside of interceptions, which if he's a 1 interception guy, if he's a 2 interception guy, appreciate you adding that on. If he's a 5 interception guy like he was a couple of years ago, love that as well. But when you look at the 2022, 2023 numbers here, I mean, you're talking about his time with the Eagles and Titans combined, 122 combined tackles, 42 assisted tackles, only coming away with 1 interception, which, yeah, you want him to be that ball hawk guy. But listen, he absolutely had the ability to go out there and still take the football away. Or I'm sorry, to still play really well on the back end of that defense. He didn't take the football away as well, but you still saw a guy that a sure tackler. Guess what you didn't have with Bojack last year? No disrespect to Bojack, but you did not have a sure tackler back there last year next to Jaquan Brisker. And I think that's the other part of this as well. When you look back at those numbers, you want those Titan numbers, right? Look at the Titan numbers. 108, 2022, 108 combined tackles, 39 assisted tackles, 4 interceptions. Well, let's talk about why he's able to get those 4 interceptions, right? There's somebody playing opposite of him that makes his job easier. Guess what the Chicago Bears have here? You have a young player in Jaquan Brisker who turned Eddie Jackson kind of back into the player that we had all looked at and loved, that the Bears had paid. And we're like, that's the Bojack that we wanted to see. That's the guy that we thought was dominant. That's the guy that we thought was worth being one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL. I believe that can happen for Kevin Byard as well, standing opposite Jaquan Brisker, because now your responsibilities change. You don't have to be as sure of a tackler. Why? Because he's able to do that. So what does that do? You get the ability to kind of be that ball hawking safety. You get the ability to be the guy who's racked up 28 interceptions over his career to this point. Like that to me, right? Situation matters so much on these defenses. And when you look at those Eagles and Titans numbers from last season, right? When they're combined, you go, well, I guess this guy was in a position where he had to tackle a lot. I don't think he's going to be in that much of a position this season. Not to say he's not still going to be a 100 tackle guy, but I think I kind of see him more in that 2021 Titans, right, where that defense was still very dominant, still attacking on full go, right, where you saw him end up getting 55 when you saw him end up getting 5 interceptions that season and 88 tackles. He's sub 100 tackles. Why? I don't need to tackle as much. I can focus on getting the ball. I can focus on taking the football away. I can focus on being a ball hawk. Kevin Byard to me is a guy that, to me, he just adapts to what his responsibilities are. And that's why I don't have a problem seeing him be a 122 tackle guy. That's why I don't have a problem with the contract that the Bears signed him to. I guess if you want to say, right, the Bears kind of bid against themselves on this, fine. But like, It's a $15 million deal. It's not something that's going to break. It's 2 years. It's not the end of the world. 2 years guaranteed, right? It's not the end of the world. And I don't think that this is one that, if we're talking about worst signings of the offseason, I would say that is completely off base. That's completely not factual. And I think that he will absolutely prove that this season, that this will be a better signing for the Bears than maybe some expect, especially over at CBS. But hey, let me know how you guys feel in the comments below as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Appreciate you guys tuning in and showing love. Do you believe that Kevin Byard was a good signing, a bad signing, or the worst signing of the offseason? We'll keep you guys updated with news. Of course, rookie minicamp is today. NBA draft lottery also today. So some Bulls content coming your way as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love. Bear down. See red. Let's go White Sox. What's the other? Go Cubs. Go. Sorry. I'm not a Cubs fan. Do the Blackhawks have a thing? Do the Blackhawks? I don't think the Blackhawks have a thing. Skytown. It's USA. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, we got all of them, I think. I don't know. Let me know if the Blackhawks have a thing. I know we just like kind of we sing the song like na 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 na. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.